Soaboa, in case you see this, I'm not dissing you, man. I respect you. Like I've said in other videos, I respect your path, your journey, you as a gamer, you as a content creator. I respect you a lot. I think you really are. If this game was more relevant, you had 1 million subscribers, and this game was actually relevant with millions of players, you would be the Cypher PK of FOAMSTARS. Like, your presentation, how you present yourself, how you talk, what you cover, like, you are good for what that would be. Like, really good at it. I give you a lot of credit. But you're just it in a game that's nothing, and you have 50 subscribers. That's nothing. Like, I'm not dissing on you. I don't even have 500. But it's not a diss. Your subscriber count is not a diss. I'm not dissing that at all. I respect smaller channels more than I do bigger channels. I do. People like you, I respect more. I'm just saying, I respect you a lot. I do, as what you're about. You know, you're passionate. You're very passionate about it, and that's a good thing. But you're doing it on the wrong game, for one. But anyway, in case you didn't watch my other video, I just want you to know that. And I also want you an open invitation. Collab. A debate. A friendly, respectful, civil debate talking about FOAMSTARS. But you won't. You know why you won't? Because I'm blacklisted. I've been bribed by community people to keep quiet and get off the game. People sweep me under a rug, pretend I don't exist. You won't collab because you'd be collabing with me, of all people. And that would give your name a bad image. Anybody to collab with me on FOAMSTARS, it would give them a bad image. But hey, it's an open invitation. Talk about FOAMSTARS, the future, what it could have been, what it was, everything. Your side, my side, it's there. But I know you won't, because who I am. Controversy, you know. Controversy is a good thing. It's made me thrive for so many years. It makes me very successful at what I do. All right. New Sony Pony Splatoon Volume Series. Another Soaboa reaction. Marketing mistakes from FOAMSTARS. So let's get into it.
Welcome. This going video, of course, talking about FOAMSTARS and how FOAMSTARS sort of messed up in the fact of marketing. So, FOAMSTARS, of course, was a PlayStation Plus exclusive game that launched all the way in February of 2024. Now, what do you mean about February 2024? Now, the thing about February 2024 was there was this little game called Helldivers 2. Yes, that's right, Helldivers 2 released a scant 2 days after this game. So, this game was marketed to come out in February and was on the February PlayStation Plus catalog with a couple other games. But then you also had the fact that, Helldivers 2 literally came out 2 days after it. Suffice to say, the game got absolutely swallowed, like how Battleborn got swallowed by Overwatch in the span of 2 weeks. FOAMSTARS' death was quite fast compared to that. So in general, in my opinion, I think that was one marketing mistake, is the fact that they literally put it up on the PlayStation Plus catalog, thought people were going to play the game over Helldivers 2 when it had, 880,000.
That wasn't even the reason why it was free. It was free is because they knew they weren't going to sell it. They knew they weren't going to make a profit, so they tried to make it free. They tried to do the Fall Guys effect. If you remember, Fall Guys in 2020, August was free, and also Rocket League. Rocket League was free when that came out in 2015? 15 or 16? It was 2015 or 16. Rocket League was free on PlayStation Plus. They tried to do that effect because they knew it wasn't going to sell, so they tried to boost as many players as possible. That's the truth behind it.
people on PC, and then of course they literally, I think it was like 2 weeks after the game came out, put a free weekend on PlayStation when they realized that Helldivers 2 became an absolute monster powerhouse of a game that was going to carry them throughout the entire year. Yes, and you know what? FOAMSTARS lasted longer than Concord, so screw anybody who thought that FOAMSTARS was going to die that soon. Anywho, FOAMSTARS also made the mistake.
Concord only died Soaboa quickly is because they shut it down to make sure that they don't continuously lose a profit. The studio that made it was a smaller based studio. Square Enix and Sony were funding FOAMSTARS. Sony has an exclusivity contract with Square Enix. All the games have to remain exclusive on PlayStation and can never be ported to other consoles forever. That is why FOAMSTARS is never going to be on Xbox or PC or Switch. Is because of an exclusivity contract agreed upon with Square Enix and PlayStation years ago, and that's just the relationship with Square and PlayStation. Now, the exclusivity contract is over, but everything that's been exclusive up to this point on will remain exclusive on PlayStation with the deal intact with the contract. So with that being said, the point I'm trying to make is Sony wanted a Splatoon competitor, and Square Enix made it. So it's exclusive to PlayStation. It's Sony Pony Splatoon, just like the Volume series. It's Sony Pony Splatoon. They have their own Splatoon, and they're putting the funding into the game. And Square put the funding into the game. Those are two major studios. So Sony needed a major online game to fill the void of Last of Us Factions and Uncharted 4, which are old now. So they had this, Splatoon knockoff FOAMSTARS. So, what is PlayStation, Sony, and what is Square Enix? Multi-billion-dollar companies in Japan. They're not a small studio like Concord. Concord pulled the plug because they couldn't afford to keep it going, and they were smart. See, the thing with PlayStation is they're bleeding money because they spent a lot of money into funding the game. Square Enix is bleeding money is because they spent a lot of money putting it into the game. That's why they created a roadmap of content that they drip-fed for a year, is so that they can space it out as long as it can to hopefully get a player base worth sustaining the game for the future, which it didn't. And that's the reason why FOAMSTARS lasted longer than fucking Concord, and it's also why they lasted longer than X-Defiant. You see, what X-Defiant is, it had millions of players off the bat. It had something FOAMSTARS never had. FOAMSTARS has never had more than like 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 players. But the reason why they're keeping it up is because there's a roadmap being drip-fed. Well, guess what? That roadmap, it just expired. Guess who was right about the roadmap? Me, the person you blacklisted from your community, the person you sweep under the rug and pretend doesn't exist. Me. The person that your community members tried to bribe me with gift cards to stay fucking quiet and not say what I'm saying so I'd reach people they don't want reaching. They wanted to ban me off the game. They wanted to keep me off the game to make sure I don't say what I say and do what I do because they want to make sure that they have a future. But I was wrong? No, I was right about that roadmap. That roadmap has officially expired. What does that mean after the roadmap expires? What happened today? What was announced today? That the season's ending, the roadmap's over, no new content. What do you think's going to happen by June or July? Do you think it's still going to be going? No, they're going to announce it to be shut down. By the end of 2025, there will not be a FOAMSTARS. It was delayed. There was a roadmap of content. It has been delayed from the start on a hope of getting a player base, which it did not. And it had $2 billion companies behind it keeping it up. It doesn't cost a lot of money to keep a server up, but to make content and put resources into development team does cost money, and that's why there was no new content. Because there is no development team behind it. They have been drip feeding from the start, and they have been delaying, hoping for something that never was. So yes, Concord flopping and shutting down is very normal. Is because they didn't want to bleed money. They just wanted to cut it and fucking claim. They wanted to claim and get some of their profit back by ending it and shit, and they want to just be done with it and move on and just accept the loss. It's smart. Why drag it on forever? Just to say that we lasted as long as FOAMSTARS? No. No. That's a small base company. Of course they're going to shut it down and try to cut corners as much as they can. That's the smart play. Why did fucking Ubisoft shut down fucking X-Defiant? Is because they're not going to bleed money. They don't want to bleed money. They don't have $1 billion company like Square Enix and Sony behind them to fucking drip feed it. They actually had a development team. They didn't have a drip feeding system. X-Defiant had a real development team behind it. They were bleeding money. They weren't making a profit back. The smart thing to do was shut it down. That's the difference, Soaboa, but you don't understand the aspects. That's why, like I said, you should do the debate, because we'd have a lot to talk about, your side, my side, and you can't deny the fact that a lot of what I'm saying is right, because everything that I've said so far has come true. I don't go into everything spitting bullshit and spreading lies. I have facts and statistics behind what I'm talking about. And you guys, you try to sweep me under the rug, you try to pretend I don't exist, you try to bribe me, you try to hush me up, you blacklist me, for what? What I'm saying is true. Sure, you don't like how I do things, and yes, my methods are extreme. I enjoy throwing games. I enjoy pissing on the community. It brings me enjoyment. I have fun doing it. You don't have to like what I'm doing, but you can't deny the fact that what I'm saying is right. And if you don't believe what I'm saying and you want to call me a liar, stuff of what I said is coming true. Some people are finally waking up and realizing it. I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just spreading the truth. Sure, my actions on the game are very disgraceful. That's the point. I'm a villain. You don't have to like how I do things, but you can't deny the fact that what I'm saying has come true. Wake up.
Taken the fact that they honestly chose not to go to any conventions. I believe they had...
But like I said, Soaboa, open invitation. Debate. I would rather have you for that debate than JJ Savage or anybody else, because you are the face of FOAMSTARS. You are the person I would love to have that debate with over what FOAMSTARS is, was, or ever will be, the entire, whatever the game is.
A little thing in January.
But you won't, because if you collabed with me, it would be a bad image on your fucking name, and you wouldn't want that. But what name do you have? You have 50 subscribers.
For the game.
And that's not an insult. You act like you're Cypher PK. You act like you're Cypher PK at 9 million subscribers, and you're collabing with somebody with 20 views in a fucking stream. Like, let's be real here. Sure, you'll have a bad reputation collabing with me, but honestly, a debate like that, it needs to be heard in the FOAMSTARS community, because a debate like that is the truth. It's spitting facts of the game. It brings awareness to the game. It makes people realize that they're not living in the bubble, and the game might shut down. Like the future of the game is uncertain. What I'm saying is mostly right, but also a lot of people think I'm wrong. It doesn't matter if I'm right or I'm wrong. The reality is the future is uncertain. That is very scary for anybody playing the game. You don't have to like me or agree with me, but the future of the game is uncertain. That is the 100% fact. What I'm saying, a lot of it has truth, but the fact is 100% the future is uncertain. That debate could bring awareness. I'm just saying, but that bad reputation, they want to sweep me under the rug. I don't blame you. Don't tarnish that reputation. You won't.
Actually came out with a couple setups, in the fact that if you participated in that Japanese-only tournament, which of course was Elaine, you could get a sideboard that is exclusive to that. Speaking of exclusive things, they didn't really market the beta too well. So, of course, it was on a PlayStation live stream, or one of those state of plays, that you were able to, see, oh my gosh, FOAMSTARS, that's a cool game. It's going to have a beta soon. When was the beta? Honestly, no one even knew. So what ended up happening is, of course, the beta, no one really knew. So, of course, no one ended up getting the exclusive gear that came with it, which, of course, was I believe, a foam white Soaboa skin and a foam white gun skin for them to do it. But they really didn't do anything. They really only cared about, I guess, posting it online and posting it to different social medias. Speaking of their social medias, oh my god, the English side is probably, unfortunately, one of the deadest things I've seen in terms of social media presence.
Well, let me just tell you, Soaboa, Square Enix does not care about America. Most of their games sold are outside of America. They're an RPG company. RPGs are not popular in the U.S. Sure, it's very niche in the U.S. If you were to go into Japan, RPGs are like the holy grail. It's why Square is a billion-dollar company, is because, RPGs, man. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, those two franchises alone are just award winners. Japan loves Square Enix. Square Enix loves Japan, loves Capcom, loves Nintendo. Of course there's not going to be a U.S. presence. Square Enix isn't going to promote a United States presence. They just kind of release shit in U.S. and it's like, if it sells, it sells, it sells. Okay, cool.
For Twitter specifically. I know they've been doing Instagram and they've been doing TikTok and such, but the Twitter is one of the, I don't know. It's sort of mismanaged, because the fact that they literally post things 3 days after JP, which is kind of ridiculous, except for patch notes. Patch notes are always the day of, because it's the most important thing to people. But everything else, they're 2 to 3 days behind. And even the lore stuff, they're a week behind even sometimes, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, that was another major mistake that FOAMSTARS ended up doing, which was really, really bad. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it, but the Twitter was one of the worst things. And also the fact of, I guess, tournaments sort of fall into this. Now, again, there was one specific tournament that came out, which, of course, was the official ESL FOAMSTARS Glorious Party, which was, I believe, February 16th, 2024, when it first came out.
Yeah, that FOAMSTARS tournament, I was in that, by the way. That pro FOAMSTARS tournament. They had Splatoon players in there, too. That's the tournament that he's talking about. I remember that. I was in that tournament. You know why? Because I was good when the game came out. Whatever the U.S. tournament was the one I was in. They had Pro Chara in there from Splatoon. They had some big names. Of course, I didn't win. But I was in it. If that's the tournament he's referencing, I don't know. But I was in a tournament. And there was money on the line. I think there was $20,000 on the line to the winners. So, just saying. Just saying. Like I said, I once cared about the game before the path that I ended up being on. Before, in their eyes, the FOAMSTARS community-wise, disgraceful, sweep him under the rug, blacklist him, bribe him to make him shut up, make him get off the game, keep him quiet so he doesn't reach the wrong people.
Or when the finals happened. And it was fine. I personally watched it myself. It was really cool. The only issue was...
And by the way, yes, I was bribed. I'm not going to say who the 4 individuals are, because what happened, shouldn't have happened. I will say I was bribed some gift cards to keep quiet and get off the game. The community, a small circle in the community, wanted to keep it very hush-hush. They wanted me to shut the fuck up and stop saying what I'm saying and stop playing the game, throwing games, and being negativity and being toxic. They wanted to sweep me under the rug for good, and they bribed me. Bribed to stay quiet and get off the game. That just shows you how much I'm blacklisted in this FOAMSTARS community. People try to pretend like I don't exist. They don't name drop me. They don't talk about me. They all know me, but they won't talk about me. They try to pretend like I don't exist. But what I'm saying is true. But I'm lying, right? Roadmap. It expired. Like I said, no more content because it was all being drip fed. But I'm wrong, right?
That they had to actually take streams from people because the fact that the game still doesn't have a spectator mode. It's been out for 10 months. Has had a couple community tournaments here and there, and just had a Connie Stars tournament. And yeah, the competitive scene just isn't there, but I'll explain that in another video. But in general, yeah, FOAMSTARS had plenty of chances to do what they need to do.
And for the record, I took the bribe. Fuck yeah, I took the bribe. I got some fucking gift cards, motherfucker.
They also messed
But it's alright, I broke the bribe.
up on the fact that apparently August 6th, 2024. Now,
We never signed no contracts. Y'all did that under the table, for the record. For those 4 individuals, if they actually see this, nobody signed no contract. Just for the record. Yeah. Tried to do it, where it didn't exist, So, there was no contract, it was just a verbal agreement, which there's no contract, nothing illegal. If I broke it, there's nothing illegal. I just gave my word, but seriously, fuck my word, because fuck the FOAMSTARS community. I'll fucking spit on it, I'll piss on it, all I want. And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. If the FOAMSTARS wants to get rid of me, they could IP ban me from playing FOAMSTARS. That's the only way. That'll stop me. Actually, it won't. I'll just go on another account and play it. It's free to play, so joke's on them.
if you don't know August 6th, 2024, oh boy, August 6th, 2024 was definitely a day. So,
August. That's when I started this cause. Good month, Soaboa. Good month.
August 6th, 2024, if you did not know, is what FOAMSTARS puts on the end of every single trailer. So they say the game will not be on other formats until August 6th, 2024. It's still even on the October trailer for, I believe it was Diamond Jam, that still says the game will be available on other will not be available on other formats until August 6th, 2024. It's a relic of the PlayStation exclusivity stuff. So, Square Enix has said that they want to stop the exclusivity deal stuff, but that was after FOAMSTARS came out. Before it,
They can't stop the exclusivity deal, Soaboa. It doesn't matter what article you're reading. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is, I've said this many times, PlayStation, Sony PlayStation, and Square Enix have had a working relationship since Final Fantasy VII. Their games do well on PlayStation. PlayStation is a huge platform for them. They worked out a deal years ago where all the major games are exclusive to PlayStation. In that contractual agreement, and this is not binding, there's nothing Square Enix can do about this. This is a contractual agreement. Everything that gets released on PlayStation that is an exclusive for its entire life has to remain exclusive on PlayStation. It can never be ported to Xbox, Nintendo Switch 2, no future Xbox, no PC, nothing. It remains a PlayStation console exclusive. If it ends support, it dies. It doesn't get revived on another console. It remains a PlayStation exclusive contract. That's the deal PlayStation wanted to compete with Xbox, to make sure that they had exclusives. And when it comes to FOAMSTARS, they wanted their own Splatoon to compete with Nintendo. So they made it exclusive. It will never be on another platform ever. To be honest, even if that weren't the case, it would cost millions of money to port it to every console, to get it working on every console. And even if they throw it on free to play, it's going to be like it's free to play on PlayStation. People will play it for a fucking few weeks, and then people will stop playing, and it'll go right back to the fucking shit that it was. They would have spent a couple $1 million. It would have gone to waste. They wouldn't make a profit off microtransactions to make back what they put into it. It would be a fucking bigger disaster as a financial risk doing it than it would be right now. And that's the facts of the reality. But I'm wrong, right? Like, I'm spitting bullshit. Like, I'm spreading lies here. Sure. What I'm saying is true. There is an exclusivity contract with Sony. What I said about even if it went to Xbox and everything else is true. You have to spend money, and then you have to make a profit back. They're not going to generate enough revenue making a profit back compared to spending the money. They would have to make double in profit what they put into it, and that's not going to happen. The fact of the reality is the roadmap ended. There's no more season. Content is ceasing to exist. The contract with Sony is exclusive. There is no future for FOAMSTARS. What the future is death. And death is coming very, 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 very soon. And you idiots need to wake the fuck up. Build a backup plan and a future for yourself on a relevant game before it shuts down. Because if you don't, you're going to look like a fucking idiot like JJ Savage over there sitting in the corner. Why the fuck is the FOAMSTAR now? Don't be him. What you need to do is wake the fuck up, build a backup, build the future, and do something relevant. Because you're just going to die on here, and it's fucking depressing. Ride it till it dies, and you'll look stupid. But congratulations. Congratulations. You had under 100 subscribers. You pub stomped every fucking day. You had 10 fucking viewers on Twitch. You're considered a FOAMSTARS pro. Guess what? You're actually not a pro. It's a non-relevant game. And having 10 viewers and having 100 subscribers is not considered a pro. You're on a non-relevant game. There's no such thing as a pro. Wake the fuck up.
They're like, we'll keep it exclusive. But after it, no. They said they're up and done with them. They don't really care about exclusivity deals. They don't want to focus on that because it's making them lose money.
And yes, Soaboa, they are losing money on the exclusivity deal because their games are not on Xbox or PC, especially Final Fantasy. That is the truth. But the fact is, it doesn't matter because whatever is exclusive already is remaining exclusive, a part of the fucking contract. Just because they're losing money now and they're not going to make future games exclusive doesn't mean the old games are going to go to other platforms. They're fucking exclusive. It's a contract. They're not going to break the contract. They can get sued by fucking Sony. But you're too fucking stupid to look into the fucking actual statistics. Wake the fuck up.
I think the latest quarterly report, they ended up losing like 300 million yen, I think it was, or something. Like,
They deserve to lose 300 million yen. You know why? Because they wasted too much money on FOAMSTARS and it flopped.
Really down in it. The Visions of Mana studio closed as soon as the game came out.
Mana hasn't been relevant since the 90s. Let's be real. The secret of Mana, it ain't no secret no more. That shit's not relevant no more. Plus, it's a Final Fantasy spinoff. Woohoo!
And you also had, of course, like I said, Final Fantasy 14 and all this other stuff. And then, of course, 16 had...
Soaboa, in case you live under a rock, Final Fantasy killed itself when 13 came out. It was never the same. The last great game was 10.
The DLC.
But it still sells money. People will buy it. It's like Call of Duty. People buy shit every year, but they still love it.
So, in general, they really focus on that for PAX East instead of FOAMSTARS, which, again, like I said, they had a land set up in Japan. They could have totally did it for the US, but they chose not to possibly promote the game. And also, I guess another ranty thing as well, is why was the game $30 after it came off of PlayStation Plus? And for some reason, if you didn't get it off of the monthly stuff, you had to pay $30 after the fact. But then, literally, like, what's it? March, April, May, June, July, August, October. 7 months after, you would make it free to play. So it's like, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, why wouldn't you just make it free to play after like maybe 2 months?
Why didn't they make it free to play? Are you stupid, Soaboa? Like, with all due respect. For real? It's because they spent millions making the game. They have to make a profit, so selling the fucking game is a must. Do you know how many copies Splatoon 3 sold? 15 million physical. That's physical. That's on a cartridge. That's not counting digital. Digital is like another 20. That's a lot of people. How many people bought FOAMSTARS? 10? They have to make a profit to make the game sustainable. You want a future? You want more content that's not being drip-fed? You gotta make money. The game's gotta make money. Buying the Battle Pass at $6 when only 100 people are buying it is not sustainable money for them to pump into a resource and development team that costs millions of dollars to make content at a rapid rate once a month. Wake the fuck up. But what I'm saying is wrong. Yeah, what I'm saying is wrong. I'm lying. I'm spreading lies. Of course I am.
The game wasn't doing too well. Again, everybody could play it. You don't need PlayStation Plus, so it would have been a shoo-in. And even now it's a shoo-in for some people. Like, people are joining the game after it became free-to-play, and, you know, I feel like the marketing push for free-to-play was really good, and they're trying their best.
The reality of free-to-play, another thing I was right about. Let's take a look at another thing I was right about. Free-to-play. I said free-to-play, it'll boost in player base for about 3 weeks, and then it'll go right back to how it was. Oh, was I wrong about that? Oh, no, Doctor Who lied, right? Yeah, Doctor Who was wrong. I was right about that, too, just like the fucking roadmap. But nobody fucking believed me. Everybody's like, no, Doctor, you're wrong. No, you're a liar. FOAMSTARS is gonna fucking thrive. It's gonna free to play. It's gonna save the game. That does the big thing. Free to play is gonna save the game. Sure it was. Hey, that roadmap's expiring. No new content, by the way. Haha, I was right.
To make it more...
Told you so.
How should I say it? Appealing to people. Because they're even having the director start playing games with the community and even having a questionnaire, which if you have not applied for it, go check the JP Twitter. They have a link, I believe, that they retweeted to from Connie Stars. The fact that Ricky-san is going to be answering questions from people.
Who? I think he said Ricky. Ricky Martin? Upside inside out, living a vida loca. I don't know who Ricky is, but I piss on his fucking legacy.
And I think what's the date? The 24th is the last day you can actually post a question for it. So if you have any burning questions for Ricky, Ricky's.
I have a question for Ricky. I have one simple question for Ricky. How's the job hunt gonna go when you lose your job for flopping at FOAMSTARS?
I would definitely go and do that because it just sounds like an absolute ball. I know for sure I'm not posting a question because it would just be once crossplay, and I was told, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Crossplay is definitely not something that would be, viable at this time. If they would have done it, they would have done it, and no.
That is correct. Once again, it's that contract exclusivity. Like I said, yeah.
Connection issue. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about that. So, I don't know. In general, like I said, I think FOAMSTARS has made multiple marketing mistakes.
Of course, they've made marketing mistakes. At least you admit it.
In the grand scheme of things, I wish they did better for it. And unfortunately,
I honestly wish they did better too. Like I said, I'm not this hater bad guy as everybody makes me out to be. The way I present myself, sure, it looks bad. I do that on purpose because it's fun. It's entertaining. It creates a good story. It's pissing on the game until it shuts down. It's funny. Once upon a time, I cared about the game just like everybody else. But I woke up very early on and realized the game's a flop. And I changed my entire story on this game. I became the most disgraceful, disrespectful, man with no honor, man with no respect, blacklisted person of this community, where they sweep under the rug and they pretend doesn't exist and nobody name drops. But they can't disargue the fact that what I'm saying has come true on multiple occasions, and everything I ever said was true. And in the end, I will win, and I play the long game.
They did not. So, again, if you did enjoy this, I guess, podcasty, like, ranty-esque video again, which I...
No, what you should do a podcast with is me. A debate about FOAMSTARS. You, me, civil, friendly, no disrespect. But you won't. Because of my name. Because it'll give you a bad image. Anybody who would do it would get a bad image. I'm neutral with two people on here. On FOAMSTARS. Two people I'm neutral with. Soaboa, I'm semi-neutral with. I'd say me and you are semi-neutral, Soaboa. But, it's like, we're not friends. The other two I'm friends with. Sure, I don't play FOAMSTARS with them, but we're on, like, speaking terms. We've talked voice to voice. We've had debates off video. But yeah, I'm not the complete bad guy, but you won't do the debate with me because of that image. And to be honest, I don't blame you. If I was in your position, I wouldn't do it either.
That people like this type of stuff, where I sort of get critical on FOAMSTARS. If you did enjoy, you can make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.
All right. Big shout out to Soaboa. He makes good community videos despite what community it is. I give him credit, respect he deserves. In conclusion, the game's a flop. It's going to die. Everything I said is going to come true. And marketing mistakes from FOAMSTARS, it's more than just a marketing mistake. It's just a mistake in general. And it's bleeding Square and PlayStation money. But they're billion-dollar companies. They can afford to bleed it, unlike the Concord developers and studio. And unlike Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is just $1 million company. It's not a $1 billion company. So yeah, I'm Doctor Who. I've spoken.